Hello, and welcome to the lore of Braunhaven. Today we're going to continue our exploration of the Grand Mall in the Merchant District of the Imperial Port. And if you wander the Grand Mall long enough, you will come by a small shop that has a corner tower attached to it. This shop is labeled with a simple wooden sign that says the Greenwater Mercantile and Adventuring Company. Uh, for a mercantile, the shop is strangely barren. There's a lot of empty shelves. There are a smattering of a few items and books, perhaps a couple of scrolls. But for the most part, the shop seems to be fairly empty. And in the northwest corner, there is an overstuffed chair and a simple, small coffee table type affair. This is usually where the shop's proprietor will sit. And behind that is a chalkboard with a series of names on it. Some of these seem to be individuals' names, others seem to be company names. And the one thing that will be noticed when you first come in is that a lot of these names are struck out. There's a line through them. And the other thing that you'll notice is that most of the time it seems that there's nobody about. There's nobody manning the front shop. This is because the shop's proprietor, Rotari, is actually in the back room, and he usually sits back there because the shop doesn't seem to get a lot of business. It's not doing very well, perhaps because of poor management. But it isn't doing exceptionally well. And Rotari is a drow of a roguish bent, and he sits in the back shop or in the back room of the shop, just kind of lamenting his existence. And he hates it here. He wants nothing more than to go home. Now, the truth of the matter is that Rotari is a drow assassin, but he is not from this prime plane. He is actually from an alternate prime plane, um, one that most people know very well, but we won't mention exactly now, or possibly ever. But Rotari wants nothing more than go back to his own prime plane, and he has ways of doing that. And if he could, he would rid himself of this business. Now, to know something about the Greenwater Mercantile and Adventuring Company, it was formed on an alternate prime plane and has become somewhat of a franchise opportunity. And really, what the company does is they are a clearinghouse for retainers and mercenaries. And it seems that this particular venture isn't doing that well. Now, the other side of the business, of course, is that they do trade in unique items that are found in the hidden places of the world, dungeons and whatnot. And so a lot of these retainers and mercenaries can be hired out by adventurers to go plunder said dungeons, and whatever the agreement was as far as the amount of shares that these individuals would get, some of that would be then going back to the Greenwater Mercantile and Adventuring Company, and they would then turn around and trade that for sale. But it seems that here, at least in the Imperial Port, in the current age, there's not as many adventurers going around. They don't need to hire as many mercenaries and retainers. And so the business is floundering. And Rotari would be willing to anybody that would be wanting to purchase the company. He would be willing to sell it for a pittance, a very small amount. And he will proclaim to anybody that he doesn't care what Frida says about it. He just wants to get rid of the company. Now, Frida is She's more or less his boss, and we don't really know much about Frida. I mean, I know a lot about Frida, but as far as in the Braunhaven campaign setting, we don't know a whole lot about who Frida is, or where she is, or what she does. But Rotari, clearly, she is over him, and he at this point doesn't care. He just wants to be done with this, and he wants to leave. He's really to the point of just abandoning the shop entirely. The shop itself is a single floor on the ground floor, but the tower does have 3 levels, with a private bedroom being on the third floor of the tower. The second floor has a small living suite with kitchen appliance or kitchen tools and things of that nature. Each floor, the second and third floor both have fireplaces. Uh, Keeping it is comfortably appointed, and that is really the deal with it. If any adventurers do want to uh, purchase Greenwater, perhaps even use it as a base of operations, Rotari has a contract that comes up, and attached with the purchase of the store, there is actually a small galleon sailing vessel. So if you need a way to travel across the water, you have that available as well. So it's kind of it could be a good deal, but I wouldn't expect it to, at this point, to make any kind of profit for your adventurers. Continuing on near there, we are now towards the edge of the alternate edge um, of the Grand Mall and the Merchant District, and on this side, you will come to the fish market. Now, this market, during in the past, this market would have been uh, quite busy, uh, throughout the day. Now, in the current age, the fish market pretty much only operates until about 12 bells in the afternoon, and it is really a an oddity. The fishermen bring right off of usually right off of the Great River, but sometimes off of the coastline, past the bar. So you do have some sea fish, shellfish, things like that, and they will bring that directly to the dock. And the fish market sits just north of Imperial Customs. And so these fish will come into the fish dock. They'll load it right up, and from early morning, probably about 4:30 a.m. to about noon, the fish market operates, and the fishermen sell their catches of the day fresh right here. And there are crates of ice that are brought in. Not much, because ice is difficult to come by, but there are some ice sellers nearby, usually in the unofficial servants' quarter. The ice will be brought in from the servants' district, and they sell their product here. Fish will range from anywhere from 5 or 6 Drachpence to as much as, for a large fish, it could be as much as 5 cestus pieces. It really just depends on what it is that you want. And they'll cut it up and they'll clean it right there for you, so it is ready to be cooked when you get home. In the corner, or in the northwest corner of the fish market, there is a small area that is known to have some fairly good food, and there is a number of cooks that will cook fish right then and there and serve it to patrons. They do have ale and wine available as well, although the ale and wine is really of a poor quality. I would say low to mid quality. But usually, the food court area is populated by a number of bandits. They tend to like to sit there during the day, drinking and eating, and it's really kind of a gathering place for the banditry, pirates, things of that nature that make their living in the merchant district of the imperial port. And one thing to note about the fish market is that it is rife with pickpockets. And so for every turn that you're there, there is a 2 in 6 chance that somebody's going to try and lift your purse as you're wandering through the fish market. And a lot of the fish that is sold here will make its way down to the well, in addition to other locations in the merchant district, it will make its way down to the thrift market and things of that nature. Sometimes as far down as the docks district, though a lot of the people in the docks district will just fish on their own. Assuming that they are protected enough that they're not going to get shivved in their back as they do so. So that is today's episode, and catch us on Tuesday, where we will continue our exploration, starting with Imperial Customs. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.